You're listening to Polymatic.media, episode 128 for August 2025. Welcome to the Polymaticast. Hey, John, you didn't screw around with it.
We flipped the eighth bit.
Okay. How's it going?
128, the eighth bit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
I was following.
Going
I
pretty okay.
I don't know if the three people in our audience are following, but you know.
Yeah, there's a little bit more than 3 people.
Okay, 9 people.
Hello, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow, how's it going, man? What's been going on?
I've not burned my face anymore.
Oh, okay. So you got some goggles and
besides,
gas masks and
I did have like a drop of oil that I rubbed into my eye and spent 20 minutes on the floor crying.
Yeah, that will do it.
That kind of taught me a lesson, I think. I've not had too much of the spice impact recently, so I've been making sauce, and I've been shipping out sauce and sending people sauce.
Still making sauce.
Yep. Back to the sauce.
Back to the sauce.
Yep. I've spent quite a bit of money on peppers and jars. And there's like a Dutch store that sells jars, and I'm buying jars. And what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. I have a lot of jars because of just the cold brew alone. I think I've given out most of my mason jars, so I have very few mason jars. I don't know how that happened, but that seems to be the case. The ones I really like the most for storage, mainly for liquids, is Weck jars, W-E-C-K.
Mm-hmm. That's from Germany.
Yeah, and they're really good. The only thing is the clips. The clips can go. I usually cover, like I sort of cup my hand over it as I'm, making it snap off. And those can go flinging, but now you can buy spare parts of it. For the longest while, you could not get spare clips, which was like BS. You get gaskets, but you couldn't get spare clips. And I'm like, what's the deal here? And that's the only kind of flaw in their jar, is that clip goes and then it finds its way underneath a cabinet or in between something you can't move easily, and then you lost the clip. So yeah, but those are good jars. Those are ones I like. They won't seal. Like, I've been doing fizzy drink things, and I make one fizzy drink and I put it in a Weck jar, and you can hear the pressure of the carbonation making its way through the gasket, because you can hear it, coming out of the jar. So, anyhow, so I some familiarity with having too many jars around for things.
Yeah, I've gotten pretty good at making the sauce and putting it into the jars. They're very tiny jars, like 100 milliliters. So it's not very big jars.
Okay, got it.
But from several, I get the big pointy peppers, like big sweet peppers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I add some chilies, some habaneros. There was another one that I put in. There's you can get them as like a package of different type of peppers in the supermarket, local supermarket. And then I add a bunch of reapers.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're growing them as well, right?
Well, I'm growing the reapers. Yes.
Right. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
So
but
you have
the
your
other
own
stuff
supply.
I get from the supermarket, because it's I don't have the space to grow the big peppers. I could, but then I would have to have different plants, and it would take me several months to make one batch of peppers.
Right.
Yeah. One batch of sauce.
Well, you also live in an apartment. It's not like you have land and a backyard that you could start gardening peppers.
But I have quite a bit of seeds now for the next year, so I should be able to grow a bunch more peppers.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to chop these plants up, though, soon. Because they're getting to the point where they're becoming too big.
I mean, you can cut them back. That's what
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
people do.
I know,
Yeah.
but like they're huge, and I need to get the peppers off first because the peppers are. When I started out there, they were like a
Tiny.
centimeter across, the
Yeah.
small peppers, and now they're like 5-6 centimeters bigger peppers. So they're 2 inches. Like they used to be half an inch ish,
Okay.
maybe quarter
Those are
inch.
small.
Yeah,
Those are small. And
and
then
then now the
that's
bigger ones are like 2 inches.
yeah. So when they're smaller, I think the flavor's more intense because it's more everything is more densely
Well,
packed.
the I think the spice is mostly in the stuff surrounding the seeds. So
Right.
if you actually have seeds in them, and the smaller ones do not have seeds in them, so I don't know.
Hmm.
It's very spicy stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not into spicy stuff at all, and the whole trend around here of in the U.S. of we have to have flaming hot everything, bubble gum, and we have to have flaming hot fruits, and we have to have flaming hot clothing and soap, and I'm just making shit up. If I
I
actually
don't think that soap it
happenstance,
would be a very good idea.
but they put caffeinated soap. They just people find any reason find a reason for something to sell, and then they'll wrap a bunch of copyright marketing around it to support it. I was watching Johnny Harris's talking about bottled water. I mean, I knew all these facts, but how most of bottled water in the U.S. is not, it's not very clean, and um, just various. I don't want to go off on that. Guys should just go to Johnny Harris's channel and watch it. It's informative, but I knew all this stuff already. Most of it is the prime bottled water things here are they take municipal water wherever the factory is and they purify it. When they purify it, they filter it some more and then they bottle it.
Or they just take it straight from the tap into the bottling
In the
plant.
case of Houston, which is where Aquafina comes from, the reason they chose their factory in Houston is because Houston has a like next level quality tap water, which is basically it's drinking water. It's super. They are so proud of how much they water treat. Like it's literally like purified tap water, basically, is what it is. And so Pepsi just takes that and they just filter it some more and they call it Aquafina.
Sure.
But there's no real rules or regulation around
Make
that.
it sound exotic, and then suddenly it is healthy.
Same thing with Fiji, for example. Yeah, Fiji is another example. It's nothing.
It does not actually come out of Fiji.
It does. It's like Foster's beer, which is it's made in Australia, but no one in Australia, I mean, they've heard about it, but Foster's beer immediately exports. Foster's beer is not available in Australia. So it's from, but it's not from Australia. Australians don't drink Foster's beer. It's immediately made in a factory, put on a ship, and exported right out of the country. So same thing goes for Fiji. Comes from a aquifer or something, but no one in Fiji has access to the aquifer because it all gets exported and put into a bottle.
Yep. Fiji Water is headquartered in Los Angeles.
Which is sort of made up marketing concepts. Anyhow, that was a tangent. We don't need to go there. Yeah. Anyhow, so
you're up for a new Otakon next week. This is like next Saturday, right? Friday, Saturday.
Yeah. So Sunday, the end of Otakon for this year would be Sunday, basically. So we're recording on Sunday, so next weekend. So because I'm still contract to hire, I am I'm only really taking 2 days because I cannot afford to take 3 days of a missing paycheck at this point. So that's what happens when you're not working for a long while, and then you're finally working and you have income. So I just we've had a couple of holidays already, and that hurts. That hurts hard. So I
Yeah.
can't afford to, make my comeback on Monday. I'm literally, and actually, now I think about it, in the past, it used to be I needed to decompress, right, from the crazy of the weekend. And I would always leave and go back on Monday. And then eventually, others around me got smart about doing the same thing. And so normally the group of us will have a brunch on Monday and then we'll leave. But from my perspective, once I'm packed up, I mean, yeah, it's gonna suck to drive home, but it sucks to drive home on Monday. So I'd rather just get on my way on Sunday night. Well, I don't want to get on my way on Sunday night, but I don't want to deal with having to rush out when everyone is rushing out on Monday. So, anyhow, dynamic changes for me, and I'll be going back on Monday. So, to answer your point, yes, next weekend is Otakon. I will be there.
Yep.
I'm still working on the film documentary stuff, but apparently they were moving stuff around and they didn't consider me and my secured room or something. They're repurposing for something else, and I went to go check in on it, and they're like, "Oops, we didn't think to consider you. You needed that room." And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna." So then I'll be with Media Productions. Oh, we've got rid of that room too. I don't know why. We have the whole convention floor. I don't know why we don't have that special room. We should. That was a secured room. I don't know what they're doing with that. But regardless.
So now you're taping everything to yourself and then hobbling
No, it
around
just means that if I want to do an interview, I have to kind of find a way. I have to kind of put a on-site. I mean, thank God my lights, can work by battery, right? And my wireless mics can run on battery, right? They're not reliant on mains power. So
I can see you go around the convention now with like a one-man band type
um,
situation, like cameras and batteries
there
and lights
definitely are
strapped
there are
to
definitely
yourself.
definitely people who do that are cosplay people who do that. They have literally soft boxes attached to them. They have a whole rig to do it. Yeah, there are definitely a couple people that do that. I don't know if they're part of cosplay.net or whatever, one of those websites. But there was like a photographer guy who started doing that, and he had all that. He had a whole rig for that to be mobile. So anyhow, I will be sharing my space with one of the operations rooms where Media Productions is also going to be sharing that space. And then I'll just find a corner to dump my wagons of stuff. Which means that if I'm not going to be doing really a primary interview site, I won't bring the C stand, so that'll be helpful, and I'll just bring less stuff. That's all. I just have to make do, which is good. I bought a second wagon for that, so I have one of those foldable, collapsible wagons. So I bought a second one, and
Oh man.
I tried with like those big metal ones, and doesn't matter how big or heavy I got them, they were always problematic. They didn't go well. They didn't. You couldn't take them from convention space carpet, right? Industrial carpet, over, over like a concrete. Well, you could go over concrete, but you couldn't go from like out, inside the hotel, right, on carpet straight off to like, pavement. Easily those other carts, that they just didn't work well, especially when there's weight. But these wagons just take like 600 pounds or 800 pounds, and they just glide with you. So they're a little difficult to collapse, and they're heavy to carry. But when they're in wagon form, they're amazing. So
But
anyhow, I bought.
But you're gonna be like running around the convention trying to get as much footage as possible.
So I already talked to May Cafe, so I'm going to come in and do a follow up with them. They have two department heads, and I didn't get the other department head last year because she's shy. But I talked to the one that I had, the one that's sort of running most of the stuff that I interviewed last year, and she talked to the other person. I'm trying to keep names out, and so I'm supposed to tentatively have an interview with her, but now I'm finding out that I don't have my nice environment where I can set up my interview site. So I'll have to ad hoc something if and when I get there. Maybe possibly I can do it. Talk to her in between in their room. I can set something up in their room, which is locked off. They have that whole sort of corridor back there locked off where they go. So I could probably set something up there ahead of time and do the interview in between their in between them doing things. So I'll figure it out. So, my one person who is supposed to come work for me, he decided to immediately take a position in media productions because the department had left to go do something else, and so now he is help running that department. I don't work for him, but still, it's like, what the hell. So now I'm back to being alone. So I mean, they did ask me, it's like, do you want to become a department? And it's like, until we grow and there's a team of people, no, I just want the autonomy to do the thing I need to do. And they're like, okay, well, we'll leave it as is. So.
And soon there will be recorder of history department.
I mean, there was originally in the convention. It was meant to cover a little differently. They had formed a department which is now under the media productions, but or is some version of media productions, but it was called convention coverage, right? And so it started with one individual who was just taking, he like photography is a thing that he loved, and he was taking pictures of staff and the events and everything. And they had pictures. They had documented history of some sort. And then they eventually turned that into a whole department. And then over time, the people that were running that department, hands changed. And people of leadership that like deal with guests or deal with the events sort of kind of bossed their way into saying, hey, cover my thing too. And I need you to cover this specific thing with the Japanese guest of honor, right? And then now GR is sort of providing. I'm lost on the word I want to use, so I'm going to find other words. But basically saying no, I'm mandating that they need to do this and that for them as well. When their department should probably be doing that, right? The department should have like someone who takes the photography inside their department, right? So it's not all reliant on a single group of people. And then over time, what they ended up doing is they sort of became the group that goes and gets all the highlights of cosplay and some of these events that are happening. And then they spend basically all weekend gathering that footage, doing some of those other mandated things by other departments of note. And then what they do is they roll that into like a 2-minute music video, basically a closing reel of all the stuff that happened at the con. And, depending on what's going on, some of those closing reels are really, very mid. Some of them are really awesome. The guy who's the department head last year, he really finally is an example of someone who really brought the level of quality of that video, that closing reel, and some of the things that they were producing up like several notches. Pretty amazing. And he was like, this is too much for me. He's a guy who stresses out too much, and there's a lot of stress on him. I would come in and say hello and give him some footage to use, and he's just like, deer in headlights. I can't talk, Alan. I can't talk. I gotta finish this. Like, and so I think it was too much for him, and so he wanted to go help in a different department this year, which is why they changed hands and now have new people in there. The larger point was that that they had people that were mandated to do that stuff, and they formed a department for it, but that department has sort of changed into something completely different with completely different focuses. And what they don't do is they cover highlights and they cover specific mandates because they've been asked to, but they don't have enough bandwidth to actually cover staff behind the scenes and then plus all that other stuff.
And that's where you come in.
And so they had come around, they hit 25 years and they said, hey, can you produce something? And I said, not inside the year. No, not a chance. You should have started 20 years ago. And that's what con coverage was supposed to be doing. And that had sort of devolved into something entirely different. So yeah, and I worked for con coverage for a little bit to help them when I was done being AV department head. And while I was doing other things, I had other departments I was working for at the same time. And I was at a place where I wanted to work with Tina, but then Tina retired, and now I was working with a couple of individuals who, were in the department, but somehow they got themselves asked to be pulled into leadership, and they said yes. And this was, they were still learning, and it wasn't, it was okay. And I just decided to go back to do other things and stop helping them directly. And then, it hadn't really, it improved a little bit. We had one person in place that improved things. But point is, I come in, and because I was asked to, and now they're like, hey, we like what you're doing. Keep doing it.
But you're out of a room.
But I'm out of a room. They almost screwed this up last year, but they didn't actually. I asked. I said, "Do I still have the secured room?" And they're like, "Oh no, it's not on the schedule." It's like, "Oh, we're not using it." Yeah, you got it. And they never changed the security code, so I know what the security code to the door is. I mean, we basically rent the whole convention space, so it's in our domain anyways. So us asking for the code, but they don't change the code. So I know what the code is.
You can steal the room.
Yeah. So I don't have my own little confined space anymore, which is, and even if I was in with the old media productions room, that would have been perfectly fine for me. In fact, that would have been a really nice, because it overlooks the lobby area and light is really good and you have some background. So like I would just film against one of the glass walls and it would provide a really interesting background for interviewing.
So what are you taking?
Me, some clothes, some staff shirts, staff badge. I'm going to take some of the lights. I'm not going to take the C-stand if I don't have a permanent place to
like cameras and stuff. Do you have like multiple cameras to go?
No, I literally use I basically have the gimbal and I use my phone, right, in the gimbal for out and about, and then for static shots I was always using my A6400, which is good for that. So some part of me is like, well, Alan, will you use your A6400? Theoretically, my gimbal is supposed to handle the weight of that, but if I put a real lens on there, I might have to put a pancake lens on there or something a lighter lens. I don't know that I will want to calibrate. I'm going to want to just use my phone. Now, will media productions love that? No, but I'm not working for them. I told them I would help them because they're short people. Yeah. I just I think my core thing is we haven't released anything that I've been doing out onto our YouTube. So there's no external or internal interest being generated to want to stop and say, hey man, can I help you? Can I be a part of this? Right? Because there's a bunch of people that all have tried to do things like this. Because like, oh, we should be doing this thing we're not doing. Great. And they've all sort of grabbed whatever camera and did whatever interviews, and nothing ever came from it from multiple people trying to do it.
Even if you like search for Otakon on YouTube, you don't even find the channel.
It's there.
Yeah, but you have to scroll down like a lot.
Okay. Well, I mean,
2.14 thousand subscribers.
Yeah, there's not a lot there.
Last video 2 years
What
ago.
what they end up doing is they put social media things out there. Um,
Oh, they put a closing video recap.
yeah, so you can see the closing reel from last year. That was the last year Brendan
And
was
the one
doing
from
it.
the year before that.
There's some of my footage in there. There's always some of my footage in there. I always capture something and I hand something over. So there's a moment in the Maid Cafe where have you ever been into the Comic Con? Did they have a Maid Cafe or anything like that?
I don't know.
It is a thing in Japan, but basically, um, well, in this case, the Maid Cafe also include butlers, but girls dress up in maid outfits, these cute anime maid outfits,
I
right?
did think there was one. Maybe there was one. Oh yeah, there
And
was one.
and you get little like confectionaries, like little cakes and little like easy to serve food. Obviously, in a real maid cafe, you don't get a steak dinner, but you'll get little cute cakes and there's a lot of little bakery items for things like that, and you'll get maybe tea or coffee or like little drinks, and they're really enthusiastic, and
High glucose hell.
yeah. So they have what they can serve inside the convention, but they have their own sort of menu of things. And then what happens is maids come and they dress up. They're cosplaying as maids, right? And it's become a thing where one year they just decided people always wanted to get pictures with them. So they have now every year they go out of their way and they make professional pictures and they make little like cards, trading cards of the maids, and you can buy every year you can buy your new cards of the maids. There's nothing saucy or lewd. They're in the maid outfit, looking cute, and then if you're there, you can get a selfie with the maid, and it costs something, but you can pay for a selfie and they'll autograph it. So
I saw recently a video game with like horse girls or something like that. What's the name of that thing? It's super crazy.
I don't know, but the point is, it's just like its own event inside the convention. And so I'm going to go back there and I'm going to get more follow up. I caught some stuff. I didn't do a really great job because I didn't know how I needed to shoot the environment. I had been in a previous year when I started this thing, probably in 2019 maybe. I came in and I recorded some of the maids. No, there's like no taking pictures and filming allowed, right? But I'm part of the staff. I'm part of the convention. So I took all this stuff, and I'm going to get more follow-up, and then hopefully I'll film with the other co-head. And so that's a goal. And the other one is I'm going to spend some time in the cosplay rescue room. And I'm going to interview, hopefully, I don't know how, when, where, but I'm going to interview the head for that as well. So I need to sit her down. The problem is she's always on the second that they start, right? There's no time to stop, right? And one of her rules with me last year was you can, I don't want you to film any of the people, right? So, and the reason for that is because, this is someone, their cosplay breaks, right? And they're super embarrassed that it broke, right? And she doesn't want anyone to, people go in there all the time. But she just wanted to make sure I wasn't like filming the person in their outfit. But I can film around it, right? I can film close up work. I can film her people working on things, right? Without putting the face of a person in there.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I have
so
to
you're
spend
going to
some
bring
time
like
in
one of those portable hot glue guns and glitter and other stuff for yourself so you can help out?
No, not at all. But anyhow, so those are the two goals, and then I need to build some features out of it. And when I was looking at the 7-8 minutes I filmed with one of the co-heads in the interview chair, with her for the Maid Cafe, I realized what I do is I can't just take this. It goes all over the place because we talked about multiple things for an hour. So I think what I'm gonna have to do, I realized that I sort of built these little sort of contained conversation bits, and I sort of clip them together, weave them into something. And I think what I just need to do is I just need to take those isolated areas and then build in short little 2-3 minute conversation piece with B-roll. Right? And then this is not only kind of how the format of what this documentary should be is self-contained little moments to talk about something, but that's perfect for putting on YouTube and social media. Right? It's perfect for
only
that.
if they did that.
Only if they did that. Or maybe even TikTok. I don't know if we have a TikTok. So, anyhow.
Time to make one.
Yeah.
Until, it gets banned. You're replaced by something
else. No. We all, look, the writing's on the wall with Skydance, right? And Skydance is obviously going to swoop in and buy TikTok. Like, that's what's...
Well...
In the pocket of the Ellisons, father and son. And then they get to control some more.
Yeah. I want to say something, but if I say I'm in big trouble.
Yep. Get in big trouble. In the case of terms of TikTok, you don't want to get bananaed.
Yeah, I saw some parts of the new South Park episode.
Yeah. Those are the parts I don't want to see.
I want my brain bleached. But yeah, they're off to a good start, that's for sure.
I remember the one year, and again, I have not watched South Park in a long time, and I think this is the one time where I sort of broke the hiatus and watched one episode. But this is when, at the end of it, they were yelling at basically every celebrity. Kanye was definitely in that.
Was it the one with the fish?
I don't remember. I really don't watch South Park
sticks?
anymore. I really don't watch South Park anymore, so haven't for a very long time. Doesn't mean I don't like it. I just haven't. I'm barely watching any real TV, right? I started watching. I watched the first 3 episodes of the 3rd season of Star Trek last night.
Oh yeah,
I watched the first episode, then I watched 2 and 3 last night, and then I was tired, so there's a 4th one for me to watch. So, but I mean, typically I'm not really watching TV much. I get a lot of my entertainment mostly from TikTok and YouTube.
Oh, Murderbot came out the last episode, I think. I don't know if we talked about this one, but
you mentioned it. You sent me a thing.
Pretty good.
I sent you, I think, a parody or something that someone was doing.
And Foundation
but it's
is
on
back.
That's on Apple, right?
Yeah, Foundation is back as well.
Yeah, I've not seen any of the Apple stuff. I'm getting now charged for Prime, so like, Prime Video. So some part of me is like, maybe I don't want Prime anymore. You know what I mean? And yeah, obviously things are going to change for the worse. If there's no more Star Trek, then I'm getting rid of my Paramount Plus. So, just saying. And Academy is not the only reason to stay, right? That's not, Star Trek Academy is not a reason to solely stay. I can skip that, right? Yeah. So, and outside of that, I mean, yes, I got some overlap from Showtime, right? Things. And actually, Paramount Plus has bundled a bunch of other things. But, yeah, they bundled a bunch of other things in that. And then even with like the Disney Plus stuff, as much as I like to see the movies occasionally, but I'm paying a premium to have that all year round. For the few occasions where I want something different than my TikTok and my YouTube. And there is some overlap of ABC shows, but not all of them. Right? ABC network stuff for me, which includes certain TV shows. And it's supposed to be bundled with Hulu, and I'm getting a limited set of Hulu stuff. I'm not getting all the Hulu stuff. So
I'm catching up on Dexter.
Yeah, I never
I've
into
been
it.
rewatching Dexter from the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't watched the two other shows, but I can get them on Prime via like the Showtime thing,
Yeah.
and then I think I can get the new show like in September. So yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
want to see that because I really like Dexter in the beginning, and I've been listening to the audiobook for Dexter, and
Oh,
that's
okay.
so different,
Yeah.
so much darker
Yeah,
than the original
I'm
one,
not
than the show.
I'm not into that kind of show format. I'm not really into murder mystery. I'm not into crime podcasts. Is none of this applies to me. I'm not into it at all. I'm
Mm.
not into vampire or zombie shows. I'm not into it at all. So this absolutely does not apply. And like every TV show today, especially on like Netflix, like 98, maybe 98.9% of them are some bad crime, murder, someone got killed, let's hunt them down and find the killer, thriller, like shows. There's
I
so
wish they
many of
made
them.
more shows like Fringe.
Yeah, so Fringe is a little all over the place.
But that was
Um,
the good thing about it. Like, and one week it was a murder mystery. The next week it was.
I know, Steve, don't come for me, but basically, I thought Fringe was a better X Files, in my
mm,
opinion.
there is the first few seasons of the X Files are pretty good. Later on, it gets really bad
Mm-hmm.
once Mulder leaves. Spoiler.
I very much didn't love the X Files. I
There's a
wasn't
Lego set coming out from the X Files. I'm
really,
definitely getting that set.
yeah, and so like again, format of a show was totally not into, and I think maybe today's equivalent of the X Files is basically um, Strange Things, right? Again,
Yeah.
another just sort of
Oh, that's coming
loosely
back too,
dark
right?
thriller mystery thing, and I'm just like, I'm not. I get enough of cynicism of like how terrible companies are. Like, yeah, I don't need this on the regular in the story format. I don't want to be thinking about that. I'm not totally not into that. Aside from my complaints on their writing and story design and premise and the way that the behavior is, all TV shows have to milk your attention
Mm.
ineffectively on purpose. So
Yeah. I don't know how the I think it's good that they're shutting down like Stranger Things now. Like maybe they
don't they
could have done
have
that
they
last season, but
don't they do like 4 or 5 seasons and then they cancel everything at four? Like you get like 4 seasons or 5 seasons on Netflix and then they cancel.
well, there was a show called Resident Alien that got canceled with Alan Tudyk.
Right. Okay. Was that based on the video game? Because that franchise has been around for a while.
Is that a video game?
The Resident Evil was a video
No,
game.
Resident Alien.
Oh, Alien. I thought you said Evil.
No, no,
Sorry, that was on me.
no, no.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Alan Tudyk. He plays an alien that lands in a small town, and he
Okay.
becomes the town doctor.
Oh, there's
And
Doc Hollywood. Like that format of bad movies have
oh
always
no, but
surfaced.
this show is very entertaining. I love it. I love
Oh,
Resident
okay.
Alien. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's very good.
Is he playing off as an immigrant?
He's
Is that
taking
the joke?
over the
Is
life
that the
of a doctor that is an asshole, basically,
okay?
and then he
Right.
becomes a bigger one.
Yeah. So I mean, we don't need to go on a longer tangent with streaming services, but I haven't had Netflix in a while, and I'm starting to look at. I want to have options,
Netflix.
right? So Netflix. I mean, I don't want to give Apple my money, so that's my first problem, my fundamental problem. But maybe I just get Apple TV, and
Hmm.
watch some shows that has new entertainment when I need it. I don't like to be that person that like only gets Netflix to watch like the new episode of Wednesday Marathon and then cancel my Netflix. Like I don't want to be that person.
I do that.
I know you do
Not for
that, but
not for Wednesday,
wasn't
but like
that
for,
was not me throwing you under the bus on that. That was not what my comment was about. It's just like I don't want to be that person.
I just like watch a couple of shows that I want to watch for like a documentary that shows up on there, and then I'm like, okay, I have nothing else to watch here, and
Right.
let it expire. But the one thing that I hate about it is like every single time you turn it back on, they re-add the kids profile. Like, what makes you think I have kids? I keep removing the profile. Please leave the
Oh,
profile off.
can you
Remove it. Make
remove
it
it?
go away. I want a flag to turn it off.
Oh no, there used to be you could never remove it. So I was just I'd always so one of the things I did is when Ben was my roommate, what he would do is he would go into my profile and he'd watch all the shows before I'd ever get a chance to watch all the shows. So the tracking that happens, like, oh, you haven't watched this show yet, was like completely screwed up and then I made him his own profile and he would still just go into whatever the first one was available to him. And, even though he was watching on his profile was present and that was the last one on the TV was being watched, he'd still go into my profile and just watch everything. So thankfully I had like an app to track what I watched last. But, and then I would get these really extra crappy shows being, suggested for you based on your watching habits. I'm just like, go away. Go away. Anyhow, so
how about your Pixel 9?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's get out of this. Thank you. It's good.
And he can go on a longer tangent about the Pixel 9.
Yeah, no, there's not much to say. It's good. As I mentioned, I think last time that I picked up on pretty quickly, while it can do 48 front camera and 50 back camera megapixels, I leave it at 12. I leave it in the lower because it's faster. I don't know. This thing can do 8K. I'm probably going to put it in 4K mode. I don't have any reason to, do 8K video for the 4K is fine. So it's nice. I noticed I was going through stuff. I noticed there was a thermometer app. So there's a sensor in the back here. One of those extra sensors is an infrared. So,
also you can like find the temperature of a thing.
I literally can point it at an object and it'll tell me what the temperature is. And then when it wants to read your temperature, you put it near your forehead and it basically gets one of your temples and it reads your temple to get your temperature. Now, am I ever going to use that? No. Maybe if I'm like, I went and I did my coffee or whatever at work and it told me, what the temperature was, and it was kind of cool.
But I was just earlier, all right?
I was going down the apps, right, and I was looking for something specific, and I saw thermometer. I was like, what the fuck is that?
But you could have used that earlier, right?
No, it was not available on the Pixel 6.
But earlier today.
Okay, for what?
To see the temperature of the water.
Yes, on the coffee, yeah. Well, I pulled the cap off, and now that it, it's cooled down because it's not a sealed container. Yeah, but I'm not used to using that, John.
You need like a FLIR.
I mean, it's not a FLIR, but it offers some option similar to that. Anyhow, so yeah, that's kind of neat. So I bought those little like wireless monitors that were supposed to like be able to screen mirror your phone to them. And they work great with iPhones apparently. And then, it didn't work with the Pixel 6 because the Pixel 6 is too old, but apparently the 7, 8, and I thought 9, you were supposed to have non-Chromecast things you could mirror cast to. And that, in theory, would work with those little monitors. So I was like, oh, I should be able to do that now. And I wanted to go look at it. And it's like, nope, Pixel 9, they decided not to offer that option anymore. And I had also bought on the Pixel 6 a MirrorCast app. And even then, it wouldn't recognize find the device. So
You got scammed.
no, it doesn't. I didn't think. If you plug up the USB cable to it, if you hook up a USB cable to it, it works. But those monitors are too small. So I had I bought as an accessory because it was sort of free credit because I bought a new phone. I bought a USB to HDMI cable, and I connected up to one of my field monitors, and it does the same thing it does with a Chromecast, which is it's showing the vertical phone in landscape mode. Which I just wish they would allow there would be a monitor that you can just actually rotate it so it takes that signal and rotates it for you. The monitors are capable of doing it if they had built that in. Those little mini monitors were capable of doing it.
Well, they can't give you everything, Alan, because why would you not buy the next phone then?
Yeah. Well, I want to go look to see if there are any field monitors that rotated. And I just, in my generic search for one, like there isn't, which kind of sucks. Seems like there needs to be a product out there for that. Because it would be nice to have like, a monitor bigger than my phone being able to, do that.
Yep.
So I'm sure that like I could run it through. I could put the Chromecast into the ATEM and I could go in and I could rotate the vertical into the horizontal. I could do that. And then, that could find its way to a bigger monitor. But no, this is not going to work out.
Okay.
So anyhow,
well, let's get off this.
Those are my general updates. It's still good. I like it. It's easy. Though battery time on it, they say 100 hours, but that's not true. You got to lower your screen resolution, and if you go and you watch video, obviously it kills battery pretty quickly, hard. So
maybe change the quality on YouTube as well.
Yeah, you could do that too. But if I'm doom scrolling, right, all day, which I shouldn't do. The battery life, I could be using it all day and it's like 50-40%. And it's like, oh, I need to charge that.
You need like one of those backpacks to make the phone twice as thick.
Oh, yeah, no.
So I've been playing some of Peak, the video game, and it's been very enjoyable. I have not reached the peak yet.
Okay.
I have not peaked.
I know nothing about this video game other than it exists.
Basically you crash land on an island as a scout, and you have to climb up the island's mountain to get rescued with a helicopter.
Okay.
And set off a flare, and then the helicopter comes and picks you up. And it's like it's a game jam game they made. Angry Crab? Landfall? An aggro crab?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They made the video game called Quality Content.
Don't know that either.
Okay. So it's like they have phrased the term friend slop games.
Okay.
So basically with anything with voice chat in it. So you can play around and you can hear the other people in your party, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, you climb a mountain, and it's so far it's been very fun. I've played with a couple of people now, and it's been very entertaining. But you have to do it with friends because there's no like matchmaking or anything like that.
Got it. There are two I've seen some of my friends play. Now all they do is play DRG or something. DGR, the Galactic rock one, dwarf.
Deep Rock Galactic.
Deep, yeah. With a bunch of dwarfs running around, who are drunk, mining things. That's it. That's
it's
what
like
they are.
It's games like Repo and
Raft was another one.
Among Us.
Okay, yeah, Among Us would probably apply. There's one, Fall on Your Face Flat, something like that. I
Never
have it.
heard
I
of it.
bought it, but that like so it's a fun game where you have to kind of go through these. Um, I don't know these. I'm thinking of like American Ninja, like these courses
Hmm.
where you have to, in these weird, wild environments to get across.
Anyway,
And
so
yeah,
this game every day they have a new mountain. So every day the climb is different. So it resets every day, and um, yeah, I recommend getting it. It's like $7, so
hmm.
should be easy purchase. Very very cheap, but also like very entertaining, and people are actually maintaining it. So that's actually pretty good. And they don't have any plans or wishes to do um, expansions or whatever.
Hmm.
They're adding a new biome, but they're not like asking for expansion pack money or anything like that. So
Right.
that's
Okay.
pretty good. People making finished games. Wow, such a surprise.
Yeah.
Okay, pretzel bites.
Yeah. So I like making the soft pretzels. And then the first time when I was starting off trying to do this, I was like, I think I can make myself pretzel bites. But the problem was I was sort of rolling things into balls and they turned into more like little pretzel rolls because they were too big. And so now that I have like a new recipe and I've really refined my ability to make good pretzel dough, um, I always make these like most of them when I roll them in the pretzel knots, the soft pretzels, they look like mini Cthulhu's. That's what they look like, little squid monsters. I because I haven't really, I don't want to over roll the dough into ropes and make it so tight and compliant. I kind of like them
Are you
as
making
these.
little mini pretzels?
They're like I'm making little mini pretzels, but the problem is when you boil them, they puff up, and then when they bake, they rise. They puff up even more until they sort of close up. So you don't really have a lot of like those three holes through the knotting, in the pretzel shape available. Very limited. So I need to get better at that. But I was like, I'm only making them for me, right? I really don't care. And then the other day is when I sort of take the dough and I sort of flatten it out a little bit. It's still very puffy. Instead of overworking it into ropes, what I do is I sort of just use my dough cutter and I will cut long ropes. So I'll flatten it out enough to have long ropes, and then I just like chop them into little squares, right? Create the nuggets, and that's what I've been doing. So I eat less. I have to make less soft pretzels, because even from the same dough, I'm making a bazillion little smaller pretzel bites, and I 6 to 8 of them are plenty for me, which would be normally maybe 2 soft pretzels normally. So I could get through 10 or 12 soft pretzels pretty quickly. Where the pretzel bites I've been doing that lately. So it's same thing, except it's just I'm cutting them out in little nuggets, so I get a lot more. Uh, I don't know, more sustainable amount of eating less carbs. But I do. I love pretzel bites anyways. So
Could
that's
you?
kind of what I've been doing.
Did you end up trying the bacon salt thing?
No, I haven't gotten any bacon salt.
Okay.
Not a priority yet. It's not off an idea. But I was thinking now that I've sort of figured out how to make the pretzel bites, and when I tried to do them last time, it was just a complete failure because I was trying to roll them into the shape of that, and it's like that was a waste of my time. Um, Now that I figure out how to do it correctly, I'm thinking about like making a vanilla and cinnamon one again, something sweet, so I can have like somewhat
Could you
sweet.
fill them with
But
stuff?
yeah, I mean that's when I first time I did it. This is when I was early starting. I was making stuffed soft pretzels, so I was putting mozzarella, a couple different things of cheddar, and eventually Swiss into the rope. So I made the rope, I flattened out a long sort of wide thing that I would basically curl over, pinch, curl over, and try to roll as best as possible into a filled rope with cheese, and the cheese always finds its way out as things expands. It gets through the cracks of stuff, and it's a mess. But they were fantastic. So when I made the pretzel bites the first time, I was doing a little flat thing and then rolling a ball that was filled with cheese. And then what I did is I shifted how I did that, and instead of doing like a garlic and Parmesan and mozzarella kind of like cheese filling, I started to put in like garlic powder and garlic salt and a particular garlic seasoning that I like into the dough. And I got my garlic essence from that. And then it's a little bit better control because I don't have to deal with a filling and moisture to account for.
You could also like make a garlic oil.
So what I did is I was doing garlic butter for a while. When the last time I did the pretzel bites, I did it correctly for a friend, but I didn't do it correctly for me. When I made my pretzel bites, I just sort of was on autopilot, and I forgot to put that special garlic seasoning in the dough. So what I did is I melted butter, and I made up a garlic butter with that seasoning, in the what I basted the pretzel bites with. So I always baste it with sweet cream butter at the end. Yeah.
And I'm hungry. Thank you.
Yeah, but they're good. And they're easy to make. I mean, in 2 hours I can have a whole big baking sheet and the second one like done. So, yeah. Really good.
Okay.
So that's it. I've shifted. I haven't forgotten about sourdough, but I haven't been keeping it up. I've just been leaving it in the fridge. So it's either super bad because it's been sitting in the fridge for a while and I can't make new starter from
sentient.
it. Or
it's
I have to restart the starter process, which, takes, it's a timing thing, right? You got to be, like, I'll probably have to start on a weekend because I need a few days of me attending to it twice a day. So.
Okay. You want to go over the links?
Yeah, they're mostly you.
Yeah, I collected quite a bit of them. So first one, I spent $10,000 on Kickstarter tech. Spoiler alert, most of it doesn't arrive. Polymatic.link/1J6 for that one.
Or the knockoffs get there faster than they do.
Then a 3D printable home server case. Polymatic.link/1J7. That's definitely for you to make your home lab.
Yeah, eventually.
Yep. Polymatic.link/1J7. Then how I saved the PNG to a bird. Polymatic.link/1J8. This is the flashbulb. What's his name again? I don't remember. I know him as the musician, not the YouTuber. So Polymatic.link/1J8 for that one. He writes an image to a bird, and the bird repeats it. So, yeah, interesting mode of transport of data.
Yeah.
And then this is what's his name? Jeff Gerling. Hacking mesh tastic with a Raspberry Pi and a GNU radio. Polymatic.link/1J9. He was at Open Source. So it's that's something I would like to go to at some point. But yeah. So that was a fun video. Polymatic.link/1J9. Then this is funny because we have one of those devices at the office. Installing Steam OS on the Google Meet video conference computer. So you have those little Google Meet devices, and they're like little Asus, basically laptops. And you can.
I have a couple from Lenovo that I bought. They were like $40 a pop, so I bought 2 of them. And they have a nice speaker on them. The problem is they were sort of wired to like only go into like or like a corporate enterprise like Teams or something. And then I flashed them out and I put Android on it. I don't know, 12 maybe 13 on it, and I try to use them to repurpose them as like home assistant kiosks. The problem is they go to sleep
Mm.
and they
And they don't
stay
wake back up.
awake. And then you got to reboot them, and then they take a moment, and I just like I'm done. They've been sitting on the banister waiting for the local area borough does this. Oh, you have e-waste. Stop off of the borough on this day during this time, and we'll dispose of it free of charge.
Anyway,
So
this was a successful one ish.
yeah,
Polymatic.link /1JA for that one.
yeah, they put Steam OS on it and played some games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then Elon Musk fired my wife. I'm selling my Tesla. Polymatic.link /1JB.
I think you shared this video with me a while ago because I've seen this before.
I don't know. I don't think so, but yeah.
My only, it doesn't even matter whether it's like about Bezos or other people. Like I don't love people who do these kinds of things because they're usually not forthcoming. And the only thing is I watched the whole thing, and I will say he was actually, when he was talking about the Cybertruck, he chose the keynote presentations from like before they even got into production. So he's misrepresenting prices and timelines and features and specs.
Oh, wow.
And so it's just like, yeah, this is why I don't watch these things, because people do that. They take footage and they misrepresent it to sell their point. So look, I get it.
He's not saying he's not biased. I mean,
Yeah,
something like that happened to somebody you care about, then,
Yeah, but I've seen, not him, but like you had shared with other people like CoffeeZilla and stuff. Now, CoffeeZilla is a little better, but like they do these takedown things, and like, yeah, that's not actually accurate, guys. Like, if you're going to do it, then at least use the accurate number. It's not as exaggerated as you want it to be, but like, that's not right. So anyhow, I wanted to give you that commentary that was like, he still had very valid points, but also in the same respect. Now, I don't care about Elon Musk. I can't ever care about this guy. He was always sort of a douche. Anyways, I like my Tesla though. Love my Tesla. Do not love Mr. Musk.
The swastika car.
Yeah, I can't. My car does not have grok in it, which is good, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
The newer
burning up
cars
the
have
planet with your with the AI.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So
And then there is this New York skyscraper cursed? Polymatic.link /1JC. It's about the what's that the name of that thing? It's like a very thin
345 or something, or 431 or 430
from Billionaires Row.
Yeah. When they built the Harvard Yards one and all that stuff down there.
Yep. Okay, and then there's Lytro, the $360 million company that died. Polymatic.link /1JD. I remember seeing like there was like this other camera that had something similar, but they had like a bunch of lenses on the back of the camera. They did something similar.
Oh, there was the same guy. I think who started Ring. He started another company where they had different lenses on it. It was kind of like the Swiss cheese lens or something. No, it's a totally different thing. This was this light field thing.
Yeah.
That this guy had created. Ledger was interesting. They did create like a DLSR. Well, you couldn't swap out the lens, but they did create like an SLR version of it, digital DSLR. But these things were super expensive. The resolution wasn't that high. It was interesting though. I mean, it could have been a really interesting technology if they were able to evolve it, but they didn't.
Okay, next one is so the other one is Polymatic.link /1JD.
Yeah,
and then some TikTok videos. Bunnies Part 1 and Part 2. Polymatic.link /1JE and 1JF.
I saw this video and I forwarded it to a friend because Bunnies is a whole thing with her. And then I saw the second video and I didn't learn that they were totally fake, but I was like, all right, that makes sense. Like I'm not surprised, but I was like, that's interesting. That's really cool. But yeah, no, until
The
his
AI
first song,
bunnies.
yeah, they were fake. And I was like, oh, that's not disappointing, but that explains it. So yeah,
You're
that was
next.
one JE and one JF. Sorry.
Yep.
Okay, I guess it's on me. This is the only TikTok video I had for you, but this is a guy who's explaining XLR and balance cables, how
Yep.
they work, why they work. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I thought that would be appealing to you.
I'd already
Polymatic.link
seen it, so
/ 1JJ. Well, then Steve can watch it.
mm-hmm.
And then the rest, I just have 3 songs. I've been really listening to, I don't know how you say it, but Austin. That's the one that's basically Boston, spelled like Boston except no B. That artist I really like. I've been really digging a lot of her songs. I shared that last time. But then these are just a few that, okay, there is one. There's an AMV here. I think I've seen this one before, but it's a really good AMV. It's called Run Makoto Run by Quagga. Stop the Rock. This is how you use After Effects, people. This is an effective use of After Effects in an AMV. Polymatic.link / 1JK. I usually ignore when Jefferson on the Discord server shares music. It's always prog rock. It's always like 18 minutes of one song and like 2 chords. And like he loves prog rock, and it's always the same terrible music that I am not interested into. But then there are like a few people on the server that love prog rock. So like I'm not
Hey,
into it.
Alan,
And
have
most
you
of the
listened to
time
Dream Theater?
so most of the time, I absolutely ignore anything that he posts. But this time he posted an AMV, and I finally just looked at it because I saw Paul had responded, and I was like, all right, I'll look at it. And it's like, oh, this is a really good music video. And I've heard the song before, so I feel like I've seen this video in a contest. I don't know if I've ever seen an AMV contest for Otakon or anything, but it's a really good video, and I recommend people watch it. You don't need to know anything about the anime or the song because it's very repetitive, but it's fun, so it's good, and it's from a couple years ago. Okay, now we're back to music artists. So
What was the link for that?
Polymatic.link / 1JK. Okay, so Anna Clendenning, I've been following her for a long time. She's still putting out music. And there's a song called Happy Ending. Not what you think. Stop having a dirty mind. Polymatic.link / 1JG for that. And then this is another artist I've been following for a little bit, Blue Eyes. She's starting to put out some new music. Bad Feelings was more recent video. Pretty good. Polymatic.link / 1JH. And then this song Dissolve by Abso Facto. Night Shift, I don't know if that's like a group or if that's just the name of the song. I thought Dissolve would be the name of the song. I don't know. But it was in their title. Dissolve by Abso Facto. I don't know. It's sort of an earworm. It just sort of, I've really been enjoying it. It's really good. Chill. Just want chill vibes. Polymatic.link / 1JI. There you go. That's it. Those are my links.
Okay. Then we've come to the end. And that's a long time.
It is. How long?
Okay. Alan, where can they find you?
On the internet. You can
Polymatic.link / Alan for that one.
I thought you were going to insert my previous actually saying it.
Maybe I should.
And leave this in. And then just insert it.
I just overlay it. I should maybe make a voice
train
model of
the
you and
whole
just
AI.
AI generate. You can find me at. Did you update the links though? That's the question.
I think I did a while ago. Oh, I probably haven't pulled. I don't know. I think I haven't checked. I don't know. I have to go check.
Okay. You can find me at polymatic.link / John for feedback. You can reach us at podcast@polymatic.media. Our website is polymatic.media, where you can find all our links to. And I hope you tune in next time.